interesting. So let's pick the focus, Darshan. So how does, in middle of so much chaos, so much, as we were discussing about the Gen AI, agentic AI, and there's a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah,
awareness and awesomeness. So I was talking to someone, he said that organization are just building the awareness at this point in time. The awesomeness, we don't know what is the awesomeness means. What's the use
yeah,
case? So there's so much
yeah,
noise.
yeah,
How does PibyThree maintain focus on what it has to do?
yeah. So we do have a research team back in India. Okay. And the whole objective is to kind of continuously look at different aspects from an organization, from a customer perspective. Okay. We do a lot of research on the net as well, on the internet, on what are the typical challenges. We have kind of looked through, I think, a lot of Kaggle kind of stuff. Uh, Plus the discussion that we have with the customers, we kind of go back to the table and we kind of discuss it and see how to kind of improvise on things. So there is a huge amount of randomness. Okay, that's for sure. And as I initially told you, technology has to be an enabler. Technology cannot override the industry. That's always the concept. If you're into banking industry, we want the banks to be more efficient. We don't
Yeah.
want the Python and the GenAI to be more powerful than the bank. That's not going to happen, right? Similarly, a retail industry or a manufacturing industry. So those innovations in terms of automations and plus, I would say the trustworthiness of an IT job getting done is very, very crucial. Okay. Uh, Again, we have seen the era of data collection, data, building a warehouse, building a report, consistent report, and then, uh, but those things, I would say, we should understand things would kind of be phased out in some point in time. And that's what I think in some cases we have seen GenAI kind of overriding these things. You don't have to kind of now prepare a report, you expose the data, you type a simple query, what are my quarterly results? It'll give you the numbers. If you want a graphical notation, you can kind of fine tune it, it'll give you graphical notation. What is my year on year growth, year on year degrowth, whatever. All these things are kind of getting simpler and simpler. And that's how we kind of try to find out a way out in terms of technology. And then there's no mention of technology out here. If I'm typing a query, there's no of technology. So the customer should not be hassled and befuzzled in terms of what do I use behind the scene. Don't worry about it. That's what the other technology folks are going to take care of you. But as long as it is getting things done faster, so instead of me waiting, if I'm a CXO or of any organization or a CI of an organization, an operations head, if it takes like 2 weeks for me to get a data of what my financials are, I mean, I'm losing those 2 weeks because I want to go to the market and kind of say that these are the 10 good things we have done. And plus, my financials are great. So if I can do it, if a technology company can do it quickly, that's the win situation. Now, what technologies are they using? Pythons of the world, are they using mainframes of the world? That nobody cares. In this case, it is GenAI perhaps. So those kind of use cases we want to get in front of the customers.
Uh, Enable in a very transparent way, Darshan. I think
Yeah.
what you mentioned is that that's how we are looking. So, I mean, I always kind of refer, I mean, maybe a century ago, generating electricity was a big thing, right? I mean, today we consider it just comes through the cables and all. And
Yeah.
I think technology is getting to the same, how what part of it is getting so much commoditized, so much transparent. Customers do not worry. Even we don't worry about it,
Yeah.
right? So,
We
yeah,
book our Olas and Ubers. We don't care where the car is coming from.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, interesting. So, interesting time. So, then looking ahead from
Mhm.
your glass and the PibyThree glass,
Mhm.
what is really exciting you out of all this? The cloud, analytics, Gen AI. What keeps you excited, Darshan? You and the PibyThree.
Okay. So there are a lot of challenges as a startup we have. Okay, I will not going to discuss those challenges, but what keeps us excited is the changes in technology. That's one thing. Second is the kind of use cases that we have started to see in the market. okay, are very, very different from what we have as developers, as project managers seen in the past. Okay. So the assimilation of the technology plus the freshness in terms of the people and or the our employees that we have, the lot of ideas which come on the table every now and then. Okay. I think that's the motivation factor. So my job is to kind of channelize all those things, and obviously from an industry perspective, get a lot of interaction. So while I'm traveling, I do interact with a lot of people who are uh, not just the customers, but the sales guys who are interacting with the customers, or the developers who are working with the clients that we have, their own developers. Doesn't matter which company they belong to, but getting those ideas, I think, is very important. Technology has to be always an enabler. Okay, how we do it, how quickly, or what is the mechanism that we want to deploy, it's the next step. But evolving uh, is very essential. Now, evolution will continue to happen. It is not going to stop. Whoever wants to think that it's going to end, no, it's not going to stop. We have seen the faces from an IT industry perspective, new companies, new brands, new products. Those things are continuously going to evolve. So we have seen the cloud phase. Now we've seen the AI phase, then the Gen AI phase, this agentic AI phase. I think these are kind of, and every time it is going to cross over the boundary of whatever we have learned in the past.
Yeah.
So yeah, so if you remember when we got passed out of college, we would think that okay, I can be the master of computer science, but that's not the case anymore. Your networks have gone so crazy. There is a lot of intelligence built in networks. There's a lot of intelligence built in your hardwares. A lot of intelligence built in your software. Software has gone scaled up to anything. You have a specific software for each and everything that you're doing in an organization. It's difficult to kind of say that I'm the master. It's not going to happen. And it crosses the boundary of cloud, it crosses the boundary of data, it crosses the boundary of applications and mobile applications, so on and so forth. So I think this evolution will continue.
Yeah.
Uh, Challenges will be there. People say that AI is going to make you lose your job. I don't think that's going to happen. AI is going to make you more pressing to kind of think more innovative. More jobs will be created in AI space, in Gen AI space, whatever the cases are. So continuous learning has to happen. Learning cannot stop. The moment you say they're going to stop it, I mean, you're kind of put brakes on your career, on your thought process. And as humans, I mean, our bodies, our thought processes, we are kind of, we have evolved over so many centuries, so many decades, and so many centuries. Things have changed for us, and the changes would happen. Changes would continue to happen. Now today we are talking of cloud as the base. Tomorrow, who knows? We are going back to the data centers. It could happen. It could definitely
It's
happen.
happening.
By
Yeah, I heard it's happening. Data centers are in the center again, Darshan, right? I was reading it somewhere. Uh,
Yes.
and 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 not only data center now, the sustainability, the all. So it's a, as you said, it's a new evolution for the data centers also, with the
Yeah.
LLMs come into picture and the Gen AI come into picture. So yes, yeah. And I think one more thing, I mean, if you look 20 years back when we started, 30 years back roughly,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
focus was technology was, I mean, if we leave apart Microsoft and Apple primarily,
Hmm.
other technology was more for B2B, I would say. I mean, the
Yes.
business used to get benefit, but now I think it's just
It's common,
blooming
right?
or exploding, right? It's
Yes.
touching everyone's life, could be anyone in any corner of the world. The life is getting impacted by the technology.
Yes. Yes. Definitely. So I think that evolution piece is there. It is going to
Yeah.
happen. I didn't want to touch, kind of get into that side, but you picked up the point of data centers. Yes, I have kind of discussed with few people, and there are trends which are showing up. The major players primarily going back to the data centers. But again, things will happen. I think we should not worry so much about the changes. We should just be adaptive to it. I think that's the essential part of it.